Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else.
Jen's ability to see things that I could not see on my own is the biggest breakthrough. These coaches can see things that we cannot. And that's what's so amazing about it. I'll give you an example. My boys aren't sleeping very well. For whatever reason, the 3-year-old keeps getting up and coming in and waking us, my husband and I, up. So I just said, this is what's happening every week. Like, my kid keeps waking me up. I'm exhausted. And that's maybe why I didn't hit that workout that week, I didn't see it happening, but Jen pointed out, she was like, for like a month and a half, you've done nothing but complain about your kids waking you up. What are you going to do about it?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Macro Hour. And man, am I so freaking excited for the guest that we have on today's episode. This guest has undergone some remarkable health and lifestyle changes through the WarriorBabe program, and she's experienced firsthand the incredible benefits of working with a coach and embracing the program's principles to achieve her goals. And her journey is a true testament to the power of discipline, to the power of dedication, to the power of resilience, and to the power of right guidance. And I'm so freaking thrilled to have her here to share her story, which I know her story is going to resonate with so many of you listeners. She's going to share a story. She's going to share insight. She's going to share the positive impact that WarriorBabe has had on her life. So please, everybody listening, please join me in welcoming Jenna. Jenna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nikki. What an honor it is to be here with you and with the WarriorBabe community. I love this community. So thanks for having me on.
WarriorBabe through and through. Of course, you're so welcome. I'm so stoked for you to share all of the things that you're going to share and the value you're going to bring to this episode today. So first, let's just give the listeners a little bit of background on who you are. Where are you from? How old are you? And maybe dive into what was your situation before joining WarriorBabe?
Okay. My name is Jenna Moon, like the moon in the sky, and I am 39 years old. And I am in West Virginia, born and raised. I'm in my 22nd year in the military, in the Army Reserve. And I deployed to Iraq in 06 and 07. And I've just been serving as a chaplain, so I'm kind of like a pastor to soldiers.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been such a wonderful, fulfilling journey. I'm ready for it to come to a close and move on to the next, whatever was in store for me. But that being said, the military has given me a lot of good things, and there's some struggles too. All through my time I joined when I was 17, first of all.
Wow.
Right after 9/11. And so I had always struggled with body dysmorphia. I'd always used food to kind of cope with my emotional problems. I didn't know how to cope really, so I went to food. And then when I was younger, it was fine because I could just exercise it off. Mm-hmm. But as I got older in the military, it was very restrictive on what you can eat in terms of you had to make weight, you had to pass a PT test, and which is a physical training test, PT. Anyway, it was just this toxic sort of relationship that I had developed with food. And so I really found myself 2 years ago where I had gotten to such a rough point with food that I was extremely heavy, 250 pounds. And yeah, and so so that's the background. Is there's the military aspect plus coping through using food, and that's kind of where WarriorBabe stepped in.
Right. So in that time, thank you for your service, by the way,
Thank
and for
you.
the years that you've served in the military.
Thank you.
With your journey at the beginning, what provoked the change and what provoked you to sign up for Warrior Babe? And also give a little insight. Did I know you had the gastric sleeve? Did that happen before you joined up with Warrior Babe, or what led you down that path of deciding that was the route you wanted to go? And then what provoked the change for you to finally be like, all right, Warrior Babe, it's in my ecosystem. I see Nikkiey popping up on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
What made you sign up?
Okay, so this is what I want Warrior Babes everywhere to know, and all you women listening, this is my main thing. I just want everyone to hear. Try Warrior Babe before you have any type of invasive surgery. If you're thinking about an invasive surgery, Warrior Babe could and most likely will work for you better than anything that extreme. Okay, so I'll explain. I had the gastric sleeve done in 2022. I took a year and healed from all of that. By 2023, not even a year later, not even a year, I started emotionally eating again. I swore up and down that I was not going to emotionally eat. I'm going to really figure this out. I got this. And then something happened where I started going down the road of just stuffing my face to numb my emotions. And I knew at that moment, I'm like, wow, gastric sleeve surgery didn't even correct my behavioral issues. So what am I going to do, God? Like, this is internal problem. This is I need help. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. And then that's when I saw you. And I had never heard of Warrior Babe. I had nothing. I had no clue. And I saw your ad and I was like, yeah, let's just give this a shot. What else do I have to try? So
First and foremost, thank you so much for being that vulnerable and sharing that. I know that's really hard sometimes to go back into your past and think about the things that were very challenging for you in those moments. But for you to share that with on this podcast and know that people are listening to this and most likely resonating with your story and are thinking about, I'm overweight, 250 pounds, potentially could go down the avenue of doing this gastric sleeve, but you just hearing like that to somebody could be like, nope, I don't need this. I just need to get myself accountable and into a program that's going to show me the way without being invasive.
yes,
They removed 80% of your stomach, right?
yes, 80% of my stomach.
Wow.
And then not only that, but at the time I had a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I couldn't even like pick them up or hold them for a whole month until my incisions healed. So my husband had to like basically solo parent for a month until
Wow.
there's so many complications that could have went wrong. Um, had I known that I would have needed the structure, support, and accountability, I probably would have just done Warrior Babe and not the surgery, but I didn't, of course, know about it yet. And so that's my main message is just like, it takes a long time to heal from that type of surgery. And then once you do heal, you still have to address the underlying issue of the
Right.
behavioral changes. Yeah.
I love that you are noting that like for yourself personally, like you have that awareness of what, like you now gone through the journey that you've gone through and you recognize like, gosh, your sleep didn't do anything to help me from the habits and the behaviors that I was leading myself down, and what needed to be addressed was that like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not so much so what people think that I just need to lose weight. It's like, well, what got you that weight in the first place? And that's what needs to be addressed, the behavioral aspect of it, the mindset of it. And what I've heard from you working with Jenna, we're going to dive into this in a little bit, your coach, is your mindset from the start to now has drastically changed. And
Completely.
I can't wait for you to elaborate on that, because I think that's what a lot of people need to hear too as well. It's not just about the physical aspect and achieving the physical result. And, that's all very important. It's all an aspiring goal to achieve for one. But if you have a poor mindset going into something, you're just going to get the poor results of, or the poor outcome of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited to dive into that, to that aspect of it. But first, okay, so this is where you're at in your journey, right? And you saw the Facebook ad
Mm-hmm.
and you were like, okay, this resonates with you. What were your expectations? Because there's a lot of women that maybe have thought about joining WarriorBabe, but want to be a part of WarriorBabe, and they see the ad and then they just kind of get in their own head about it, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's probably going to be like another program like everything else out there, or I tried everything. What's this going to do for me? What were your expectations of the program before joining?
Mm-hmm. Well, when I saw it and started doing a little bit of research, I was very skeptical because I had tried everything, just like many women listening right now, tried keto, tried restrictive dieting, everything under the sun, except for macros. I never had heard about tracking your macros before. I thought that was something that people just did that are in the gym all the time, the bodybuilders. I didn't know regular people like me are supposed to track. So I just I was very skeptical because I have literally tried everything, and you know I was like, all right, I'm just going to just go for it and give it a shot and see what happens. And that's why I in fact, the person who called me to start up everything, I missed their phone call, and it was like a bit of a rough start because you're so busy,
Yeah.
and so but it just I think God knew I needed this. I knew I needed this, and it was just one day, one step at a time. I somehow started to get the hang of it.
Heck yeah. You made a joke that Coach Jen had it out for her with working for you at the beginning.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I know that Jen shared a little bit. Coach Jen, big shout out to her. She's one of our premier coaches.
Love you, Jen.
Incredible coach. Hey everyone, I just want to take a second to interrupt the show and share some exciting news with you all. We're launching a new brand partnership program. If you're passionate about fitness and wellness and love empowering women just like we do at WarriorBabe, this could be an incredible opportunity for you. We're especially looking for women who are going through menopause, are premenopause, or postmenopause. And as a brand partner, you'll be filming content that aligns with our brand and mission, helping us spread the WarriorBabe message far and wide. Plus, you can earn some fantastic benefits along the way. So head over to warriorbabe.com/partner to learn more and apply today. That's warriorbabe.com/partner. And the link is in the show notes. Let's work together to inspire and empower even more women. All right, let's get back to the show. Your guys' initial goals were to improve your diet, to find ways to manage your stress, to help with realizing the importance of prioritizing yourself, which is something that you
Mm-mm.
had never done before. Can you just elaborate on that? Because I think a lot of women need to hear
Yeah.
that story too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as women, that's what we do. We nurture and love everybody around us, our children, our parents, our friends, our spouses. And it's like we're in this, like, especially when you're in this season of life and menopause kicks in on top of all of that, it's just crazy. And we give so much of ourselves. And it's like society tells us to do that. Like been sort of we've been trained to think that that's what we're supposed to do. And so we eat last. We eat the leftover scraps, whatever it is. And we don't put ourselves first. And I definitely was not doing that at all. In fact, I was so burnt out from exhausting myself that I was severely depressed. I having worked with soldiers who are suicidal and struggling to just live, somehow along there, because I wasn't taking care of myself and I'm trying to minister to them and just all of it, like be a parent and still have a social life, like and so I really found myself very depressed, depleted, and I grew weary in doing good, and I knew that I was not in a good place because I was contemplating taking my life.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was just so overwhelming, and I just didn't think, I couldn't see a way out. So, I'm not saying that, if any of you are feeling that close to suicide or anything, please, please reach out, because it is hard to go at life alone, and you don't have to go through this alone, and there is hope. And so I was so depressed when I started with Jen that I set up my weight, my bench and my weights, and I just stared at them for like a month. I didn't even work out with her actually for like a month.
Hey, there's a lot of other women that do that too. They're not alone. You're not alone there.
Yeah. And she was like, and she was so cool about it. She's like, Jenna, why aren't you working out? I'm like, I don't even have because I feel like it's going to hurt so bad. And
just all these stories, all these like things that are just like in your own way, right?
In my own way. None of it was true. I was all in my own head. These limiting beliefs that I was just living out.
So what were so you were 250 pounds. So what were some activities or goals that you found that were extremely difficult to achieve back then that you've now since been able to achieve with working with Jen and working with WarriorBabe?
Yeah. Okay. So the first one is definitely strength training, weightlifting. Mm-hmm. Never did that before in my life. I was a cardio bunny, Orange Theory Fitness, any high intensity workout. I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing, not knowing that raises my cortisol levels. And I had never strength trained. So the fact that I went from having zero weights, no gym in my house, to now I completely redid my garage so that it's a home gym. I painted it. I spent like $3,000 on it. So like Jen got me from lifting little baby 8-pound weights to 20-pound weights, right? And now I'm just like, I cannot miss a workout. I went from literally crying because I had to work out to I absolutely cannot miss a workout.
Wow. Okay. So we talked a little bit about your mindset at the beginning, right? Like you were in a depressed state, like your mindset was a lot of limitations, a lot of thought processes that were holding you back. And now like one thing that was noted about your journey is that your mindset has drastically improved. So you were just sharing that you would stare at the weights and you wouldn't want to do it for the month and you would feel like they would be so sore from it. Or, you were lifting the 8 pounds. Now you're lifting like the 20 pounds. What was that initial, like from that mentality to now you're like, I can't miss a workout. I've invested in my home gym. I'm crushing every single one. What switched?
Mm-hmm. For me, it was Jen's absolute unwavering support and commitment to me. Like she believed in me before I believed in me. And I really, honestly, Jen, I love you. I would not be here without her. Like it just, and I noticed that about all the other coaches on the different calls that I get to jump on and listen to their perspectives. And it's like, they deeply care about their clients. That's why this program is so different. It's like, it's the specific needs that are being met versus like just a cookie cutter program. It's like she specifically figured out, okay, we need to reduce your cortisol levels. Let's focus on one thing at a time to get you into the gym. And it literally like was one day at a time. Don't even worry about the next week. Let's just focus on today.
That's what Jen did note too as well. She said your greatest strength is your ability to listen to coaching and to reflect on your behaviors and identify like necessary changes that you had to make in order to achieve and the results that you were looking to achieve. And you guys would devise a plan and implement one behavior at a time rather than trying to change everything at once. And then over the year that you guys have worked together, you guys developed these small habits that led to a complete lifestyle transformation. So you had some, experienced obstacles when it led to the strength training aspect. What you noted, you're like, I've never done macros before. Like I didn't even think it was something that a normal person like knew how to track. So what was like your biggest breakthrough with the, because I think a lot of women could totally resonate with that. They're like, I've never tracked macros before. A lot of people are very overwhelmed with tracking macros at the beginning. They think it's so tedious and it takes so much work and they don't want to have to do it. They're too busy, like, left, right, and center with all the excuses. Did you have those thoughts? Did you have those fears? Did you have those hesitations? And then when you went through the process, what were your thoughts, your fears, and hesitations with that, going through that process, and then the next steps with Coach Jen?
Okay, cool. So yeah, the nutrition was actually the biggest piece and biggest hurdle for me because, like I said, didn't know what a macro was. I had no idea that I was supposed to eat it all in this different combination, and it just seems so overwhelming, and it's really not. I just started. She said, just track protein. Just start with protein. Had no idea I was drastically under eating protein. And because I was so fatigued, right? So like the lack of energy and the thought of having to prep food was so overwhelming. But she said, just prep the next day. Don't prep the whole week. Just prep the next day. Okay, that's easy. So got my groceries just for the day, and got familiar with my Fitness Pal, and I played in the beginning. I played macro Tetris, where I would eat a meal and log it in, and then I would try to manipulate my macros to make everything zero out by the end of the day. And
you tried to zero it out. You tried to get zero protein, zero fat, and zero carbs.
Well, no, I meant I tried to hit my macros.
Okay. I was like,
evenly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, evenly. And I was trying to get within the 5 plus and minus range, and I would, it was just crazy. I would go clear, way above or way below. I was all over the place. And so she said, just focus on protein, just focus on the next day. So I did that for a whole week, and I got the hang of it after 1 week. I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. I can do this. And then my husband got on board the second week, and we meal planned together. And he would cook the kids' food, and so I didn't have to, and I could just focus on me. So that was, I had that as a blessing. But yeah, I think it was just a matter of learning that this is doable. And in fact, because my lifestyle is so busy, having pre-prep food I could just reach in and grab, it was like, oh, this is way better than starving by 2 p.m. and reaching for the chocolate that I love.
Amen. Okay. So on that note, you noted that you could not believe that I could eat that much food and lose weight and tone up. So what were you eating before? And then what were you eating now when you're working with Jen?
Yeah. Okay. So prior to learning about macronutrients, I would eat a big salad, and because it was leafy greens, I thought it was healthy and good, and it is, but I didn't add the other things that I needed, the protein and the fat in there. And so by 2 or 3 p.m, I was exhausted, and my cravings were out of control. Just craving chocolate or any kind of sugar, anything. And I just realized, I was like, okay, if I'm craving all this, there must be a reason why. And Jen was like, try maybe putting some carbs in your lunch so that 2 to 3 hours from now, when you're feeling that at 3 o'clock, you're just completely exhausted. That's going to kick in and help you get through the rest of the day. And it was just about learning when and where to put the food. That was a game changer too. So.
Hey, just want to drop a huge appreciation to you guys listening to the show. It means a lot. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and there's so much more to come with it. If you are enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that tons. And also, it would help this podcast reach others who need to hear these messages too. Thanks so much, guys. Let's get back to the show. And prior to that, when was this what was the time frame from you getting the gastric sleeve to you signing up for WarriorBabe?
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
So in the year post the gastric sleeve, this is what you were eating. You were eating like a salad and That
Yeah,
was
I
like
was
throughout the day?
drastically under eating, like very restrictive eating. So with the gastric sleeve, you have to work yourself back up to eating like regular meals. So for the first 3 months is very small portions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but by a year, I was back up to eating like a normal portion size. Um, then I started to overeat again. So when I came to Jen, I didn't realize too that I was also eating a lot of prepackaged things that were quote unquote packaged as healthy.
Mm.
Protein shakes are fine, but I was consuming so many of them because my stomach was so little, and all of those prepackaged protein shakes have a lot of extra stuff in them too. Didn't know that that was not good for me. Um, Lots of prepackaged stuff. In fact, I thought I did have irritable bowel syndrome symptoms.
Wow.
And Jen was like, let's just try eating from whole healthy sources for this first week or two and see what happens. Completely changed. The IBS symptoms gone.
That's, that's incredible. That's what I think is like the first and foremost thing that people can change is the way that they're like the processed packaged foods that a lot of people eat is one of the main reasons why their health is where they are, or what they're experiencing within their own body. So just making that switch is that's pretty crazy that you had those symptoms kind of go away.
Yeah, like I would eat, little what I thought was healthy salads, things like that. But I would also be putting in there protein bar, protein. It was like because that's what the doctor told me to do because of having the surgery. You
Mm.
have to have all the, but he did never mention that it needed to be from whole source like that. And I don't know, I just didn't put the pieces together, and so it was like
Yeah.
when those symptoms went away, I felt such relief.
That's awesome. So I know that people listening to this, if they have gastric sleeve, they always, there's many, many conversations that happen at WarriorBabe on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of them are individuals with gastric sleeve that want to join the program. They always say, can the program be done with a gastric sleeve? So what's your answer?
100% yes. 150,000%. Listen, the answer is yes because we as women we're not taught how to eat properly in terms of like what's sustainable for our individual body. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's no fault rather, excuse me, of ours. It's just like this cultural just ads and everything in our face all the time, and there's so many myths and there's so much confusion about what we should do. Intermittent fasting, good foods versus bad foods, complex carbs versus simple carbs, one's good, one's bad. No, actually not at all. There's no good foods or bad foods.
Yeah, 100%. It's a behavior that comes behind if after eating, bag of Doritos or bag of Oreos or something like that. It's like the behavior that comes. There's no bad or good. I have Oreo. I have a box of Oreos right now in my cupboard, and I
Yeah,
allow myself to have it here and there. It's all in balance, but it's like if you have six of them or 10 of them, it's not that it's a bad food. It's a bad habit that comes with eating them.
exactly.
But yeah, that's I think so important to note that there is so much conflicting information that is out there, and it's not anyone's fault from knowing. I think you have your career that you are in. A lot of women have their career that they are in. They
Hmm.
have their responsibilities of kids and doing their day to day. It's another added skill set to learn how to eat right and how to work out right and how to do all of the things that one wants to accomplish for themselves when it comes to achieving optimal health and the results they want with their body. And they have this, people should seek it for that advice, right? And that's what you did. You sought the advice with working with us and working with WarriorBabe and working with one of the coaches. So for a lot of the women that are struggling with the gastric sleeve, it's like, yes, it can be done, but it's not up to you to go and search and how to do it and then spiral down all these rabbit holes of the confusion and confliction and all the different things that people are telling you to do. Just come somewhere where we have 65 expert coaches on our team and know
Yeah.
exactly. And if what's so cool about that too is like there's 65 of them. but maybe there's a few of them that work with Gastric Sleeve. And what's cool is you're not just getting one coach, you're getting 65 coaches because all the coaches work together,
Yeah.
which is really cool. But anyway, a little end rant there. So now I want to know, what was your biggest breakthrough so far? Because I know you're still working with Jen right now.
Yeah.
So far, what was your biggest breakthrough with WarriorBabe?
For me, it was definitely the mental game has completely changed. I work out for my mental health. And I can actually see that like the neuroplasticity in my brain is changing. The way I see things is changing. It was 100% mindset is what did it for me. My body getting stronger now is just the icing on the cake. Jen's ability to see things that I could not see on my own is the biggest breakthrough. These coaches can see things that we cannot. And that's what's so amazing about it. I'll give you an example. Okay, so my boys aren't sleeping very well. For whatever reason, the 3-year-old keeps getting up and coming in and waking us, my husband and I, up. So we're sleep deprived. We're not sleeping very well. And I complained about this. I didn't complain. I just said, this is what's happening every week. Like, my kid keeps waking me up. I'm exhausted. And that's maybe why I didn't hit that workout that week, you know? So I didn't know this was like, I didn't see it happening, but Jen pointed out, she was like, for like a month and a half, you've done nothing but complain about your kids waking you up. What are you going to do about it? And at first I was so mad when I got her video. I was like, she's not the one not sleeping. I'm not sleeping, and I was just so mad. And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? She's right. These boys are only going to be little for so long. Quit complaining about it and do something. Like, that's the best part about it. She empowers me to take control and get the result. Like, and it's not in a mean way. None of the coaches are in a mean-hearted way. It's all because they can see patterns that you can't see. See, guys, we're in the arena, right? We're in the arena getting our butt whooped. And your coach is like the coach in the corner being like, go left, go right, look out. They can see the punches before they come.
Oh my God, I just got the chills. Keep going, Jenna. That's so good. You're on one right now.
Yeah, like they can see it before it comes. And it's like, oh shit, this is amazing. Like, I didn't even notice this. I mean, so do you see how that with my boys not sleeping has nothing to do with nutrition or fitness? That has to do with my specific lifestyle, what I am going through, and it could be anything any of these women are going through with aging parents, with teenagers that are crazy. It's like your coach has a bird's eye view.
Yep. 100%. What we like to say too, and like how we coach the coaches, is to give an objective perspective on your guys' situation. So it's like, you're in the arena, you're feeling all the feelings, you're going through the motions, like you're getting the hits, right? But I love that you're saying that, like, we can see that next step before you can see it, or we see the angles differently than you guys can see it. But at the same time, we're also not going to feed into your emotions of what you're feeling. We're going to have an objective perspective on your situation and push you and challenge you, and not allow the feelings and emotions to get in the way, but better yet, be like, cool, what are you going to do about it? What's your next step? What's your game plan?
Yeah.
Or, I see that you have this type of excuse going on, but it's not helping or serving you in the results that you want. So I'm gonna stay up and I think I did a podcast on this too, the benefits of working with a coach, how they give you the objective perspective and they're looking down at you, like you just said, a bird's eye view, and they're seeing the entire situation for what it is. And note that too, these coaches have worked with over hundreds of clients that they've had on their roster throughout the couple of years. So they know exactly what you just said, patterns. They see the patterns that unsuccessful clients have had, and they've seen patterns with successful clients and what they've had, and they will pull what needs to be said or challenged, or what's going to help move you forward. Which I think I love that analogy that you just used with being in the arena. I think that's freaking fire. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, these guys have an objective perspective. They're going to push you no matter what. They're not going to let you get in your own way.
Yes, 100%. And
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know, it's just absolutely life changing.
That's awesome. And that's what Jen said. Like, she along your journey, we're gonna get into some of the things that you've experienced now and your results. And on the other side of just starting out and lifting 8 pounds and the macros, not knowing the macro world. But she said that no matter what you did, like throughout the journey, once you got past a little bit of the shaky mindset at the beginning, that your positivity started to make all of the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you weren't consistent or you weren't giving your all, you always came in motivated to learn and to improve.
Mm-hmm.
That was something she said about you, which is freaking, I think that's a huge component to the mentality of a client, because it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. And if a one-way street is constantly battling the coach and constantly not agreeing with what the coach has to say, or constantly saying it should be this way, not that way, or constantly saying that old successes of when somebody was 20 or 25 years old worked and they want to work now, that's not going to get you or the coach anywhere.
Right.
So you being open and you being coachable and you being motivated to learn and to improve when you knew there were areas that you can improve upon, like being more consistent, that's what's going to make the successful relationship successful. And that's what's going to drive your results. It's like, I think that's just such a powerful remark to have in a relationship with, while you're working with a coach.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, as women, we're like, so, we want to have it all figured out and all together. And it takes a level of, of a little bit of humility to be like, this one aspect of my life, I just cannot seem to get it. I got my degrees, I got my jobs, I'm a successful businesswoman, why can't I get this right with my body? And it's like, okay, let me just take a knee and be like, there's something to this. I haven't quite, the puzzle piece I'm missing. And for me, WarriorBabe was the piece that filled that puzzle.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. So where are you at now with your fitness journey?
Yeah. So, oh my God, I feel so confident. I feel so good. Like,
girl, I saw your transformation pictures and I was like, hot damn.
I am like, okay, so I bought my first 2-piece bathing suit.
Oh,
never in my life have I worn a 2-piece. So, I mean, it's just the confidence is through the roof. I absolutely love working out. I am loving eating good, nutritious, quality food and enjoying a piece of pie and cake when I get the chance to, or when I want to. It's not like I'm not restricting anything. Actually, right now I'm in a cut. I don't even feel restricted in a cut. Yeah. So
where are your calories at now? Like, what are you eating on a day-to-day basis?
I am 120 grams of carbs, 45 grams of fat, and 130 grams of protein. And that's the cut we've established. So it's 1,405 calories, but I don't worry about the calories. And I let my fitness pal do it for me. It's all there for me. I don't have to figure out the math. It's just like, it's so easy. And I'm flying now. Food prep, I prep a whole week worth of food. My husband's, dude, if there was a WarriorBabe for guys, he would be on it. He is.
You don't know how many times I've heard this, Jenna.
Yeah, he is. So he went and bought a grill, the smoker, because he smokes meat now. He smokes everything. He loves it. We're eating so good. The kids are eating good. It completely just physically changed my life, mentally changed my life. But it's.
Where are you at now with your body composition? Like, where are you at with like your weight and how you look? And I mean, 2-piece bikini says it all, but
yeah,
just for listeners that they want to know, like.
Okay, so this is interesting. So I went from 250 pounds, I lost 60 pounds with the bariatric surgery. Okay, with WarriorBabe though, I have lost about 15 pounds. So I went from 170. Right now, I thought I would be losing more weight, but it's not about the weight. Jen showed me my pictures side by side. She said, this is where you are when you started. Here you are now. Look at your body, how it's changing. If she had not showed me my side-by-side pictures, I would not believe where I'm at.
That is what is so powerful when you're working with a coach, because so many and listeners probably will be able to resonate with it. They just want to see that number on the scale go down. And I think that trips up a lot of people, because there's a difference between weight loss and there's a difference between fat loss. And what we focus on at WarriorBabe is fat loss. You're doing strength training, you're working out, you're trying to build up a little bit more muscle so you look more toned.
Yeah.
And that's going to counteract what you see on the scale, because the scale is just telling you a freaking number. It's telling
Right.
you like you against gravity. Like, this is what it is. It's not taking into account the type of muscle mass that you're building and adding to your body. And muscle is more dense
Mm-hmm.
than body fat is. So it's going to take up less. They weigh the same. Body fat, and you've heard this before, like 5 pounds, 5 pounds, they weigh exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But densely in muscle takes up less space than the voluminous like chunk of fat does.
Yeah.
So you may be seeing your body shrink, or like you're seeing it shrink, but
Mm-hmm.
the number on the scale isn't going to change because you're adding more muscle to your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you're adding more densely muscle. But thank God you have the pictures side by side.
Yes.
That's what's going to tell you the true story.
Yes. Yeah. That was huge. That was a game changer right there. Seeing it side by side, and I was like, if I've made that much progress at 80%, really get, because trying to get my macros just right, I really struggled with that in the beginning. But I still achieved that body composition by 80%. Let's go. Let's go. I am.
And let me ask, like, how long are you in this journey right now? Like, when did you sign up for WarriorBabe?
I signed up in August of 23, and so at the 9-month mark, at the 3-month mark, that's when Jen showed me the pictures side by side, and I was like, dang. And then I'm at the 9-month mark, I bought my 2-piece, and I was like, I'm feeling great. And now I just, next month is my 12 months, but I know that I am not exactly ready to graduate, so I signed on for another year, because I know that another year of this, oh my God, I'm going to be entering. You know what, guys? You're going to see me in a bikini competition.
No way.
Let's do it.
Wait, did we just capture that live?
Yes. There is nothing holding me back.
Then you got it. You got a bikini comp to start.
Bikini. That's what I was trying to say. Bikini competition. Because I think that's the biggest thing, is like the confidence that I have that now I can control my food and it's not controlling me, has touched and influenced every aspect of my life. And if I want to enter a bikini contest, by God, let's do it. Let's go.
Yo, I love that mentality, Jenna. That's freaking awesome. So I'm curious how how this fitness journey has impacted. You said your husband went out and wants to do a WarriorBabe bro program.
Yeah.
How about the kiddos? Like, did the kiddos see what you're doing?
100%. It hit me about the halfway mark, the 6-month mark. I was foot racing my kids in the backyard. We were racing, and I beat them. Like, before, I could never have even kept up with them, but I was crushing them. And then we would go to the playground, and I would be the only parent out there just playing. And I would gather all the kids around me, 7, 8-year-olds, and I'd be like, let's race from one end to the next. And I would smoke them all. And I'm like, Jenna, they're 8-year-olds. You're smoking 8-year-olds. This is not something to be very proud of. However, all the other parents were sitting in the shade, not playing with their children under the shelter. And I'm like out here playing with their kids.
How about that?
Yeah.
And then because you have a home gym, you have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old or 2-year-old?
Yeah, 3.
3? They see you in the gym, right?
Yeah, we got them they're a kid weight set. So now they work out with me. I know, it's awesome. The kids,
oh my God,
they're pumping iron with me. It's so cool.
That is amazing. That is so life-changing to those 2 little ones.
Yes.
Like the way they're going to grow up and the way you're being a role model for them.
Yeah, 100%. Like, over 4th of July weekend, we went on vacation, and I was going down the slides with them and climbing the rock walls and doing everything that I never saw my mom do. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go down that road. I am going to be so healthy and just instill that in them now. And it's exciting. It's exciting.
Wow, Jenna, is there anything else that like you when you were 250 pounds and overweight and depressed, is there anything that you can do now that weren't able to do then? Like running around, like keeping up with the kids, like everything you mentioned now. Is there anything else?
Yeah. There's nothing I can't do now. It's funny because,
Oh my God, what an answer.
yeah, there's absolutely nothing. In fact, anything that life wants to throw at me, I know that I will be able to have the resilience, the strategies, I will figure it out. Like, I will figure it out. Everything's figure outable. Like, it's the confidence to know that is so, it just touches everything. So,
Wow.
yeah.
You are a warrior babe through and through with that answer. You
Yeah.
just figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Just figure it out. Like, I was trying to figure out how I was going to put my home gym in without bothering my husband because he's working, and I did it all myself. I was
No
like,
way. What a badass.
I'm not even going to ask him. I'm just going to do it. And now I got a little pink tool belt, and I am like, I
Wow.
fix things around the house now. I took ownership of every aspect of my life. That's what my coach taught me, was that I have power. She empowered me to use my power.
Wow, you just said two things there, that's amazing. And that's so in alignment with Warrior Babe. One of them is our mission is to help 100,000 women regain their personal power and feel confident in their skin. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you, throughout this entire podcast, have totally been in line with that transformation. And which is, to me, so incredible to know that you are one of those 100,000 women that have been
Mm-hmm.
positively impacted. And then the second thing is, one of our values is extreme ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And we want, all our lives are all our making. There's never anybody else to blame. And I think that's
Yes.
huge of what you just said, because you took ownership of where you were,
Mm-hmm.
and now you are here with the results you have. And it's all you're doing. It's
Mm-hmm.
your life. I think what a lot of women struggle with is they blame programs, or they
Yes.
blame the weather, or they blame how busy they are. And they don't take ownership of the fact that they're the ones in control, that where they are right now is all of their doing.
100%.
So, wow.
100%. It's all you, extreme ownership, and then it's just amazing, the feeling and the ability to believe in yourself again,
Yeah.
to trust yourself, to believe in yourself. Like, that is unfrickin' stoppable. Like,
Hell yeah.
unstoppable.
Oh wow. What a journey. What a story. It's so incredible to hear where you started and how you got off of the depression, you got into, taking ownership, you got into the strength training, you got into the macros, you learned things along the way, you stayed positive, you developed positivity, you developed the coachability, like to learn, to improve. And now you're here with such a, you know, different story of where you were almost a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
especially 2 years ago when you had
Oh
the
yeah.
surgery. So wow. Well, it's been such an honor to hear your story and to hear how Warrior Babe has helped you through it, but most importantly, how you've taken extreme ownership to just do the things and make it happen for yourself.
Mm.
What would you tell somebody right now that's listening to this, that's watching this, that is unsure
Mm-hmm.
about taking the next step with Warrior Babe?
Sure. Um, that I want you to know that I know it's scary and I know it's hard. And I'm talking to all the women out there who just are so depressed and are so fatigued and tired. And I know you, I know I've been there. You're not alone. And there is help. And Warrior Babe is what helped me restore my hope, and having my hope restored has given me a quality of life unparalleled to anything I would have ever had. So I would just say, if you're also thinking about surgery, give Warrior Babe a try first, just because you're going to need Warrior Babe after you heal from your surgery anyway. Like, and it's less costly than surgery. so so just give Warrior Babe a shot. You really have nothing to lose. You got tons of support, and if anyone wants to ever reach out and talk to me about it, I would be happy to talk to you about it. But yeah, just give Warrior Babe a shot. It's It's life-changing. It's hope-filled. I got my life back, and I'm so blessed, and I'm so grateful to you, Nikkiey, and to the WarriorBabe community and everyone who makes this happen every day. And I want to tell every woman about WarriorBabe.
Wow, Jenna, that's so beautiful. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you for being on this podcast and sharing your stories. I know it's going to resonate with a lot of people. One last thought that I want to, end this podcast on is actually a thought from Coach Jen and from your overall transformation. She said that she's loved every single moment of being on the journey with you, watching you dig her way out or watching you dig your way out of the darkest place to becoming a ray of sunshine has been one of the most proudest moments to her as a coach.
Aww.
You allowed her into your life, which was a very vulnerable and open aspect of you to her, and it's helped her guide you in a much more simpler and easier way, and helping you to achieve what you've achieved in a sustainable fashion. And it's not easy to be open and vulnerable out of the gate with somebody that you just met. So that is, I think, such an honorable thing that you should be so proud of yourself for.
Aww.
And she mentioned too that because you were so willing and open to change and being 1% better every single day, now you are so confident and so happy. And it's been a pleasure that she's been able to work with you through this whole journey. And she cannot continue to do more with you now that you've signed up for a whole nother year.
Oh yeah, Jen. Get ready, baby, because it's going to be a whole nother year. We got a bikini competition to get ready for.
Let's go. That is noted. Have you shared that information with her yet?
But it was in the back of my mind. The seed got planted. I was like, okay, last month I thought, okay, this is my first 2-piece. Let's see what we can do with this. So
let's go, Jenna.
Yeah.
All right, well, noted here on one of the episodes of the Macro Hour podcast that you are going to do a bikini competition maybe within a year.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Damn, I tried to slide that in there and see if you're going to pick it up.
We'll see about that one. Not sure, but well.
All right, before you're 50. That's enough time.
All right, cool. I can definitely agree to that.
Okay. All right, good. Well, Jenna, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. I appreciate you. And thank you for being a freaking rock star for WarriorBabe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nikkiey. I appreciate this. And what an honor this is for me. Everybody go listen to the Macro Hour, all of them. Macro Hour. Plug it in your ears. No matter what you're doing, listen to Nikkiey and what she's saying. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end of the show. I hope you really enjoyed that podcast. Really quick, if you're a woman aged 45 through 65 and finding menopause challenging, listen closely. WarriorBabe is here to help you reclaim your body and your confidence. At WarriorBabe, we've empowered over 18,000 women to lose stubborn body fat, build toned muscle, and understand their bodies better. Our personalized plans based on hormone and thyroid testing and more ensure you get exactly what you need to see real results and real results that last. Imagine feeling stronger, more energized, and in control of your health. Don't let menopause hold you back any longer. Head over to WarriorBabe.com/apply and join our amazing community today. That's WarriorBabe.com/apply. The link is in the show notes below. Thanks again for listening to the episode, and I'll see you in the next one.